Hello, my name is Tim Storey. Welcome to Miracle Mentality.
Remember rooftops, drawing spaceships on the ground.
It's for the dreamers, the doers, the believers in something greater. In each episode, I'll invite you to rise above the mundane, to push past the messy, and learn to live boldly in the miraculous. Every episode will have practical wisdom, spiritual insight, and my guests will explore what it takes to activate your miracle mindset. Remember to subscribe, follow, and like. Welcome to Miracle Mentality. My name is Tim Storey. I have with me today one of my best friends in the world, Coach Michael Burt. Hello, Coach.
Hello. Good to see you.
Everybody needs a coach.
I believe that.
And you are coaching people all over the world in all walks of life. And you didn't say it about yourself. I said it. You are the best
Thank you.
coach we have in the world. And you help to elevate people, solve problems, help people to scale. And you're still enjoying yourself, right?
I am.
Yes.
I think if you took coaching away from me, I would be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was hardwired into me early in life, right? Even, we were talking earlier, you and I, about, I remember my high school coach called me professor. I was on a baseball field hearing from coaches, you're going to be a great coach when you grow up. I didn't see that in myself.
Mm-hmm.
But as tough as the coaching business can be, I think if you said you can't coach anymore, I would be miserable because that's who I am.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're sitting in this amazing place called the Greatness Factory.
Yeah.
And what I love is when you started to speak that vision years ago, that you were going to do it.
Yep.
And even we were talking when you were looking for properties of where it would be.
Yep.
So we're in downtown Nashville, one of the nicest areas of all of Nashville.
Yep.
Right down the street from the football stadium. And how does it feel to walk through this building that you saw in your mind at one point?
Proud.
Mm-hmm.
Moms and dads would bring their kids to me at 14 years old, and when I was a basketball coach, and they would say, my daughter's got a lot of potential. She just needs, and then they would say whatever she needed, confidence, discipline, focus, accountability. And I started to say, thank you for bringing your daughter to the Greatness Factory, where we're going to manufacture her greatness.
Incredible.
And those moms and dads would go, where do we sign up?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't recruit when I was a high school basketball coach, but nobody said I couldn't attract.
Yeah.
So we had the nicest locker rooms. We had the best assistant coaches.
I love
We had the nicest uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to raise the money to do that. We didn't have the money to do it. We had to wash cars on Saturdays and sell M&Ms and whatever you do to make money. And so that phrase of going somewhere and manufacturing your greatness stuck with me. 2016, God gave me a vision, build a greatness factory for adults. You can manufacture their greatness. So I started playing around with it, and I always tell people it took me 8 years and $8 million to build this place. I failed 4 times. A lot of people don't know that. I started and failed. I got kicked out of a building for having too much energy. I did one event, and a landlord kicked me out of the building. I was renting, and I kept going, I need to own this. I need to take my destiny back in my hands. And when I called Tony Giarratana, who's easily the top developer in Nashville, he built all these high rises.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I got an idea. Do you have a space for it? And he said, I got a space in the 505. And I go, are you kidding me? Because I have a place in the 505.
Yeah.
And he said, it's right downstairs. He said, I've been trying to sell it to a restaurant, but in Nashville, there's not 3-level restaurants. You go to New York City, you go to Chicago. He was going to New York City, coming back, and there's 3-level restaurants in New York City. It's not very common in Nashville. So he really built this almost for a restaurant, 3 levels, but he couldn't sell it to a restaurant, and I came in and swooped it up.
Which is amazing. So, 3 levels of greatness here, and so much going on with seminars, conventions. You rent space out. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so think of this as a place that people work, learn, grow, connect. So it's a member-only private club. People pay membership fees.
Yes.
Some people have their own private offices. You got to spend some time with our members.
Yes.
We do events, but all of level 3 that you see up here, including the podcast studio, the 109-person state-of-the-art theater, The Money Lab, the Dream Foundry is all rentable space.
Yeah.
So a lot of companies come in and rent this space, and it's totally different than a hotel.
Yeah.
It's totally unique.
There's something about the atmosphere here.
Yeah.
And even for me, I've been stirred up lately by a lot of good things happening in my life, but I'm ultra stirred up being here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to dive into some good things because we know each other so well. This word potential.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play with this for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of parents that are watching right now, and their son or their daughter has potential, but it looks like they're not doing what they should be doing with that potential.
Yeah.
What should a parent be trying to help that child with who the potential seems to be lying dormant?
Well, I think let's give potential a definition. It is an idea of kinetic energy that is stored until activated.
Mm-hmm.
It is also could be defined as an idea of embryonic growth that will be better today than we were yesterday. We'll be better tomorrow than we are today. I believe potential is there, but as you said, latent and undeveloped. There's birthday gifts that haven't been opened. There's muscles that haven't been activated. So to me, who's coaching your kids, if we're talking about kids, is more important than who the president of the United States is.
Incredible.
So I have a daughter. I have 3 kids. I have a daughter's got a lot of potential in gymnastics. She's got a gymnastic body. She wants to go. When I take her I took her on Saturday for private lessons, private coaching, and this coach, I'm watching him. She's like, "Daddy, watch me. Watch me do this."
Yeah.
He's pushing her, try a new move, do this, right? And she's responding. She's trying a new move. He's activating her potential. He's coaching her. So you and I are coaches. I define coaching as engaging people in a set of systematic behaviors that allows them to do something tomorrow they cannot do today, right?
So good.
So potential has to be activated. Environments activate potential. Competition can activate potential, right? Exposure can activate potential. Like coming to the greatness factory, it's like, I should be doing something bigger, right?
Love it.
Okay. So that is what I think about potential. It is dormant and latent and undeveloped until it is activated by something. And that something is typically a coach or an event or an activation point.
So interesting story. Magic Johnson said he had a hard time coaching in the NBA because he was so frustrated with the players.
Yeah.
Because he knew how he trained, Larry Bird trained, Michael Jordan trained, Isaiah Thomas trained, and we would see these guys loafing around. He just got frustrated.
Yep.
He said it in many interviews. As a coach, how do you stay out of your emotions of being so easy for you to be frustrated and stay frustrated because you play at a high level as well?
Well, I think early in my coaching career, I was in my emotions a lot and kicking and screaming and cussing and throwing things. And one night during a timeout, one of my closest friends was my assistant coach, Letitia Hayes, and she looked at me and she said, "You got to calm down." She said, "These kids are looking to you for guidance, and you're so up in your emotions.
Yes.
You can't give them any guidance. You're not calm.
Yeah.
They need you to be calm." And that, I was the head coach. I'm like, I'm the head coach. You're talking to me. But, man, I needed to hear that. I needed to be calm. Now, in today's world, it's kind of like Price Pritchett says, I don't try to convince a person to experience a quantum leap unless they really want it. That want-to factor's got to be there, right? So in today's world, I'm really only looking for people that are looking for me.
Yes.
So I don't get all worked up about, well, this person, doesn't want it, or this person, right? I'm kind of like, hey, I'm only looking for people that are looking for me. And I don't get emotional. I don't get in my emotions. I stay calm, and I go, okay, this is the people I'm looking for, and I know how to win.
Yes.
At a very high level. And the people who want to win are going to step up and take an action.
I love
And
this.
the people who don't are going to stay over there on the sidelines. And I'm only looking for those people that want to be Navy SEALs, not baby SEALs.
Oof, I love that. Okay, let's talk about your personal career.
Yeah.
Because you started off like many, many people. It's almost like a baseball player that has to go up in certain divisions, certain rankings, right?
Yep.
So you were coaching people certain levels, speaking to companies certain levels, and then you find yourself on these mega stages like 10X. When you spoke at 10X, you were so good that somebody was trying to talk to me at the same time while you were speaking, and it was somebody that's kind of well known. And I literally told him, "Can you hold on for a minute? This guy's on fire."
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about working your way up almost from a certain league
Yeah.
and moving up, on how that prepared you for bigger stages that you are now ruling and reigning on.
Well, I believe in a long obedience in the same direction.
Yes.
And that's a book title by Eugene Peterson, who was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, it's not like these things manifest. It just happened to happen. I mean, to me, it's like winning a championship in sports. I didn't know when I was going to win one. I just knew I was going to win one.
Yes.
And then you wake up one day and you're in the middle of a court and there's 10,000 people cheering. And you go, I'm a champion. Mm-hmm. 10X was kind of the same way. Some of the big stages, it's just working the muscle, getting better and better and better and working a skill. And then one day you wake up and you're on a stage in front of 10,000 people. And people said, what did you learn? And I said, I learned that I had a skill that was good enough to be on that stage. Mm-hmm. I learned that I could hold my own with those people.
Yes.
And I said, it's not that they were better than me, they were more famous than me, right? I need to learn how to market myself. Mm-hmm. I need to become a better marketer.
Yeah.
Okay, so but the stages are speaking for free. You got to remember, I had 13 years of speaking to a team in a locker room.
Oh, yeah.
Testing ideas. That was like a little laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the kids liked this, and they didn't like this, and they loved this, and like, right? And it was writing books, because I was on book 18 or 19 by the time I spoke at 10X. And so it's like writing a book, seeing what they like, trying, speaking for free, then going up a little bit more, then getting a little bit better. And then, like I said, over a cycle of a decade to 15 years or 20 years, then you'd really do have a skill that's strong enough to be on a stage like that.
So it's an interesting thing because, like, let's take the game of basketball. So Coach Burt, as we talked about before, coaching high school basketball, but for women,
yep.
And winning many, many championships. But you're an unusual player where you can play all 5 positions. Because I'm watching you coach people, you create companies, you create establishments like the Greatness Factory, you write books. There's so many things that you're doing. How do you keep things in order in the midst of all that you're doing?
Well, I do believe in intentional congruence. Okay, the coaching business is the primary business. I still coach and mentor people, a lot of people, and I enjoy it. I speak, I coach, I train, I lead, but I'm really a practitioner of what I speak on. And so I got this concept called the big table, and it's like that's kind of what we promise in here is that we're going to help you get a seat at the big table. And I believe that you should go to coaches who are doing what they're telling you to do.
Yes.
So I'm telling you to get a seat at a bigger table while simultaneously I'm getting a seat at a bigger table. And to me, the coaching business is the primary business. Then one day I woke up and I go, okay, what if we could activate a person? That's the personal development side. And I got all this literature that I've written on that.
Oh, yeah.
Flip the switch, A to B, person of interest, habits of the top 1%. Then what if we could activate the business? Because they need the business. They need to get in the right vehicle to really take this thing to the next level.
Yeah.
But then I said there's a third dimension to my coaching about activating their wealth. And what if I started to create, and I've always wanted, when I do my A to B exercise and I'm writing my things out, I'm like, man, I'm raising capital. I'm doing bigger deals. I have my own private equity fund, right?
Yes.
And by being around some of the top people in the world, what I noticed was they just had a proclivity toward action.
So good.
They just took it. They're like, hey, I want to start a private equity fund. Now, where I've gotten better as I've gotten older is partnering with people. So on one private equity fund we have called Pitch Equity, my partner's raised over $1 billion in his lifetime. He's taken 50 private companies public.
Over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he came to me and he said, I like you.
Yeah.
I like your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we partner on this 50-50? And I go, okay. Right? In our Blue Marlin Capital, it's like, hey, these guys came to me and said, hey, would you like to be involved in this? We want you to be a partner. And I said, yes. Now, here's the interesting part. I'm using the same skill, the skill of activation that I used as a championship coach, that I used to speak around the world, that I used to write books, that I use, right? I call that baking soda. Remember the
Yes.
old days?
Oh,
How they use
yeah.
baking soda?
Yes.
When you were growing up, how did they use baking soda? You remember? Did they bake with it? Maybe. People brush their teeth with it, whatever.
A lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So baking soda today is used to deodorize.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same product used in a different way.
Okay, so powerful.
What if I could use the same skill, activation,
Mm-hmm.
to activate a company for equity,
Yeah.
to activate a brand that's dormant, to activate a space, to activate capital?
Yeah.
What if I use the same skill in a different way? And that's really what the book $1 Million Days is about. How you experience $1 million day by using the same skill in a different way.
So let's get into the book.
Yep.
$1 Million Days, Bigger Financial Possibilities, and Big Table Moves. So we recently had lunch,
Yep.
and you blew me away, and we are really good friends. But you have stepped into something that's at the next level.
Yeah.
And as you know, and most people that are watching know, I get to talk to people that have done well in life. But what you've stepped into is really, and let me use a biblical verse.
Yep.
It's something that is exceedingly abundantly above what you have now stepped into.
Yep.
So you briefly mentioned what you're doing with this equity fund.
Yep.
Can you explain a little more?
Well, when I wrote the book $1 Million Days, I wrote that because it occurred to me that when I was a high school basketball coach, I worked 320 hours a month,
Yes.
80 hours a week. At my peak, I was earning $55,000. Okay.
Yes.
I took the same skill over to the business world and I began speaking, and I made more in an hour, earned more in an hour than I earned in a month. Then I started signing contracts
Yes.
where they would pay me a certain amount of money, and I was earning more in these contracts than I would earn, right? And it just kept evolving till one day I woke up and I had stock in a company I'm on the board of directors of, and the stock went up like 20 times in a
Wow.
day.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was worth $3 million.
It's a lot of money.
It was a $1 million day. And then we started raising capital for Blue Marlin Capital, which is investing in data centers, racks of data.
Mm-hmm.
And we were literally raising it at $1 million a day.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I went back to our experience at 10X, and I said that day was worth several $1 million to me that day.
Yes.
And what if we could get our mind around having $1 million day, right?
Yes.
And so when I got into these funds, I'm watching Cardone raise capital. I'm watching these people raise capital, and I go, I spent 20 years building reputational capital.
Mm-hmm.
People trust me. I do what I say I'm going to do.
Yes.
I show up over a long cycle of time. There's a consistency to me. If I'm going to be involved in it, it's going to have to be world class.
Yes. Always.
And so I go, people started coming to me saying, well, if we could raise capital. So we started, private equity fund, and that invests in real estate and businesses.
Yeah.
So we can buy businesses and we can invest in real estate. Blue Marlin Capital invests in data centers, racks of data. And so that's really where the idea of the book came from, is that if you get into the right vehicle,
Yeah.
the vehicle being the work you do,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the skill, and you have the problem,
Yes.
and you have the right vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
you could experience $1 million day.
Yeah. So here's the book, $1 Million Days, Bigger Financial Possibilities, and Big Table Moves.
Yeah.
So when you talk about big table moves, tell me a
Yeah.
little bit what you mean by that.
I'm watching Price Pritchett be interviewed by Lewis Howes.
Mm-hmm.
Great interview.
Yes.
And Pritchett is one of my mentors. And Lewis Howes asked him, why did you get into mergers and acquisitions?
Yes.
You're a psychologist. And he said, mergers and acquisition is the big table. It's the biggest game in business.
Wow.
And when he said that, Tim, I go, because you know my brain,
Oh, yeah.
concepts. I'm
Mhm.
attracted to concepts. And when he said the big table, I go, okay, it's the biggest game in business. And I watched that interview, I bet 100 times. And I started asking myself, what is the big table for me? And then I had the revelation of, this is what I'm doing for people. People come to me, and the common denominator is they all increase.
Yes.
They all expand. They come to the greatness factor and they walk out thinking,
They do.
okay. So I go, I'm in the business of helping people get a seat at a bigger table.
Mm-hmm.
I had written Flip the Switch, which became a Wall Street Journal bestseller.
Sure did.
I had given the talk on Pray Drive hundreds and hundreds of times. And just like you, I was looking for my next concept. And so I go, that's it. The big table is my next concept. So as I write a major published book, which will be the big table, I'm writing these small books. But all the small books lead to the big table.
Yes.
$1 Million Days is a little prelude to the big table.
And I love it. You have a podcast now called
The Big Table.
The Big Table. Okay, chapter 1. 8-figure skills stuck in 6-figure vehicles. Help me with that. Sounds very Southern.
Well, it's like, that was another book that I wrote and before this one. And it's like when I was a high school basketball coach, I had a big engine.
Mm-hmm.
I had a commercial instinct. I had studied business for 10 years while I was a basketball coach. It's kind of uncommon for a PE teacher to be studying business and going back to get his degrees in business, but I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, hey, man, I'm playing small. I got this big engine and a commercial instinct, and I need to run.
I love this.
And
idea.
so I felt like I was an 8-figure person stuck in, and I felt like I was a 7-figure person stuck in a 5-figure vehicle.
Yeah.
And then as I got out there, I would meet all these talented people, I'm sure just like you, and I go, dude, what's up, man? You're so talented, but you're in the wrong vehicle.
Yeah.
Like you're a real estate agent and you're selling 50 houses a year, and on your best year, you're not going to get to this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I started breaking it down to a formula. The skill you have that needs to be world class, the problem you solve, and the vehicle you distribute.
So good.
And I started coaching people on this formula. Most of the people I coach today go, I can't get there in this vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You and I talk a lot about the vehicles we're in.
Yes.
Which ones can get us here? Which ones can't? And you got to be in the right vehicle. That's what that's about.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to go through every chapter. I'm going to go to chapter 6. You talk about skill.
Yeah.
Because I love that word skill. Yeah. What does skill mean to you?
Could be like unique ability. That's a Sullivan term. You know, in the Bible, the parable of the talents.
Yes.
Each person got X number of talents, which was a sum of money based on their ability.
Mm-hmm.
I think about skill as ability, like a birthday gift. You were given this ability, and then you open it like a birthday gift, and you refine it, and you work it, and you get better at it. And typically the most skilled people have the most opportunities.
How do you find that people can discover their skill? How do they discover their skill?
I think they got to get first they got to be curious.
Mm-hmm.
If we had 100 people in the theater and we said, what's your primary skill? Not a secondary skill.
Okay.
98 couldn't tell us.
Mm.
They would say very vague things. I'm a good person. I work hard. I got a big engine.
Yeah.
A lot of people say connection. I'm good at connection. What they can't tell me is like I have a skill of activation.
Mm-hmm.
One word.
Yes.
See how clear I am? I can activate things.
Yes.
I can activate pray drive and boldness and imagination and excitement and energy, which I have found at first when I thought about this word, I go, well, that's not very sexy. Activation. It's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went out and raised $30 million with that skill. And I go,
it's amazing.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a damn good skill.
Oh, that's a skill.
If this is right now, now people come to me. I had a guy the other day sold his company for $200 million. And he came to me and he said, I want you to activate my brand.
Mm-hmm.
And we're willing to give you this equity.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, now this skill is valuable. So the more valuable the skill, the bigger the problem, the bigger the payout.
Yes.
Okay. So, when I went through a lot of stuff with Vaden, when I wrote the book, Flip the Switch, and he has this concept of she hands wall. And on one side of she hands wall, you're unknown.
Yeah.
You're obscure.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, you're known. Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what breaks you through the wall is being known for something. You're known as the comeback coach.
Yes.
Okay, so that broke you through the wall from being unknown to known. And what a lot of people do is they look at somebody and they go, Tim Storey's doing this, I need to be doing it. What they really should be doing is looking at the skill they have, refining that skill and solving a problem. And then people start saying, that's the dude you call for that.
I'm loving what you're saying.
Yeah.
So as we've talked about before in conversation, the Bible says you see a person skilled
Yeah.
at their work, they'll be ushered into the presence of the great.
Yeah.
And so going to the Malcolm Gladwell of the 10,000 hours, but I love that. You add to that, they have to be coached in the right way in that 10,000
Yeah, but
hours.
you could I could play 10,000 hours of golf and still suck at golf.
Mm-hmm.
If one thing that gets underplayed in that is two things. One, with correction and feedback.
Yes.
Is what those people had.
Mm-hmm.
People don't talk about that. New studies have come out that said you don't have to go 10,000 hours. You could actually master something in 4 years, okay, if you had intense practice in an area and strong correction and feedback. So it's not just the person that practices an hour, it's a person that practices 4 hours, but they got correction and they got feedback and they got coaching. And they're not afraid to fail, which is why you would see people like skateboarders, people that break bones, not afraid of anything. They master things faster because they're not afraid of failing.
So let me tell you an observation with a story. Okay. An observation of you is the confidence that you are walking in. From the minute I met you, I saw the confidence, the swag that I really liked about you, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself. But I feel like the confidence is growing without you becoming a person of just walking in ego or pride, but it's just a confidence in God and a confidence in what he's called you to do.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough?
Fair enough, yeah.
So you have that skill set and that confidence. Talk to me about how your confidence has grown in this skill that you have.
Yeah, I think confidence could be defined as a memory of success. It's an internal knowing that you can create or manifest something.
Yeah.
I think my confidence has grown because I do think there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Mm-hmm. Arrogance, I like to say, is when your self-appraisal is much higher than your market value.
So good. Come on.
It's like real estate. you have appraised yourself much higher than your
good.
Right? And I don't ever want to go there.
Yeah.
My confidence has jumped, Tim, because of me really uncovering my skill.
Yes.
I tell people I can't cook, I'm geographically illiterate, I'm not a very good driver. There's so many things I'm bad at. But when it comes to activating something, I can play with the best.
No doubt about it.
Why? 34 years, man.
Yeah.
I started coaching at 15. See, a lot of people, I was a head coach at 22 years old. I was a kid. Yeah. Just like you started 18, 19 years old. So for 34 years, this long obedience, it's been one skill, working that muscle. Yeah. Working that muscle. But then I had this revelation of this is it. It's one word. Yeah. Activation. Once you know that skill, now you start going, I can take this skill here and here and here and here. And you walk in knowing, hey, ain't nobody in this room got that skill.
Which
like
I'm
that.
loving as your friend to watch you do this, because I've been able to watch Magic Johnson do that, to go from playing for the Lakers to owning things and then owning more things and then becoming over a billionaire. But it started with a basketball skill, but he had a coach.
That's right.
And he had his basketball coach, but he also had a mentor in the area of business named Jerry Buss, who was the owner of the Lakers.
That's right.
So I said I had a question and a story. Yeah. So this quick story is having to do with me walking into a party and I knew nobody. Okay. So I walked into this Hollywood type party, but this was a group I didn't know. And so I went there because this guy asked me to go. But my friend that asked me to go spoke to one of his friends and said, watch how within an hour this guy has a whole group around him, okay? Because he knows my skill set. Yep. So I went and sat in a couch way at the end, and these people were being kind of Hollywood on me, and I just was not in the mood. So I was hiding, talking to one person. Then another person came up. Then another person came up. Then another person came. I'm telling you, I was surrounded by like 8 people, all walking through life coaching. Right. And as you know, that skill drew people.
Yep.
without me trying to draw people. I was not trying to be the life coach that day. It just kind of came out of me.
Yep.
All right, so
Yep.
let's go to another chapter.
And skill gravitates towards skill.
Ah,
Okay, so just like gravitate toward like, association breeds assimilation.
yeah,
When people ask me, how did you get on tour with Tim Storey? How did you get on stage at 10X?
yeah.
How are you doing these events with all these people? I mean, you were a basketball coach. I say one thing. They have a skill, and they can recognize that I have a skill.
Oof, yes.
Okay? No different than you. I remember at church that day out in California, you said that Sharon Lecter,
Yeah.
she wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad with Kiyosaki in the first 10 books. Y'all need to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
And what I find is no matter who I have in here,
Yeah.
I typically know them and they know me.
So good.
And they'll go, hey, I've seen your stuff, man.
I like what you just said, because I was speaking at church, and Sharon was there,
Mhm.
Sharon Lecter, the great Sharon Lecter,
Yep.
and the amazing Coach Burt. And I went, oh my goodness, they're in the same spot.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And what was awesome is how you two got together,
Yeah.
and then all three of us went on
Went
tour
on tour
together.
together.
Yeah,
The comeback tour.
and changed a lot of lives.
Yes.
Okay, so watch this other chapter. Locating the right vehicle, but you do right all capital letters.
Yeah.
Locating the right vehicle. How do we do that?
What if you spent your whole life and you got to the end of your life and you said, what if my whole life was wrong? Right? I remember Dyer used to say that. You could spend your whole life in the wrong vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
My dad worked in a factory. He was very likable. He could talk to anybody. That's where I got that skill from,
Yeah.
right? Although I didn't grow up with my dad, I still got that skill from him,
Yes.
right? If you talk to him, he's the nicest guy in the world. He's going to talk to you. You're going to like him.
Mm-hmm.
Immediate buy-in to him. And one day I said to him, in the morning he would get on the thing and give the announcements to all the workers in the factory. And he said, son, I do kind of what you do. I'm in the motivation business. But he got up and went to a job that he hated for 30 years.
Yeah.
And he couldn't retire. He couldn't wait to retire.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that because the vehicle that you choose, it could be very hard.
Yes.
See, nobody set me down 17 years ago and said, okay, you're going to go into this coaching business, but it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to travel 200 dates a year. You're going to be away from your family. It's going to give you a great life. And I didn't even think about this. I just thought this vehicle's better than that one, right?
Yep.
And then one day I wake up and I go, gosh, man, I'm away from my kids. And there's got to be a better way to do this with my skill set. So I started going, what if I own the buildings that I coached in? What if people came to me versus me go there? What if, and then I started going, okay, how do I distribute my talent here to get a maximum output? And then once I found my skill, I started finding different vehicles, raising capital, equity in companies. It became bigger plays.
I think so many people watching right now, Coach, they feel like they are in the wrong vehicle. If you know you're in the wrong vehicle, let's say it's a job. As you know, you can't always just quit that job right now. So what would you say to somebody that has been at the wrong company, let's say for 10 years, and they don't want to sign another 10-year contract? How do you subtly get out of that, or how do you abruptly get out of it? What should you do?
Well, if you're in a vehicle that can't get you where you want to go, I say there's three things you can do. You can tweak the vehicle, restructure it, shift it a little bit, like I've done with my coaching business. Shift it.
Okay, this is good.
You can torch it.
Gosh. See, this is where you can't be beat.
Yeah, you can walk in and go, I'm out.
Listen, I'm a good coach, but you're blowing me away right now. I'm glad. It's like if we were playing one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be up 18-0 right now.
Well, you coach me and I coach you.
Okay, so number one, T was the first one.
You can
tweak
it.
You could maybe torch it.
Or you can utilize it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you what I mean.
TTU.
What if the coaching business is a great business for me to pour into people, but it also feeds the other businesses?
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll hear me say, I do this to do that. I do this to do that. I coach people because it attracts some of the best people in the world to me.
Yeah.
What if I told you the private equity fund, and the Blue Marlin Capital, who are some of my most successful students.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching brought those people to me.
Yes.
Then after I observe them for a cycle of time, I go, you guys show up, you do what you say you're going to do. I'll partner with you on this.
Yes.
Right? I have a skill and you have a skill. So I utilize the coaching business and the Greatness Factory. Listen, there's been over $200 million worth of deals sourced in this building.
Incredible.
In the building.
Yeah.
Just like you sitting down on level 2 today, going back and forth. Okay, so to me, I am strategically pivoting the business while I'm also utilizing the business. And if you could think like that, I do this to do this. I get a lot of joy out of doing this, coaching people, right? But all the big money, the big money that I'll make will be in these other things.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a person's out there, I didn't quit coaching when I started speaking. I spoke on the side. I wrote books on the side. Remember, I stayed as a head coach for 6 more years after I wrote that first book.
I remember
so
that.
a lot of people think, well, you're just going to jump over here. And let me tell you what got me in trouble. You'll appreciate this. Is I was speaking, and I would speak any day. I had a day off. But then I started leaving school and speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the other schools in our district wanted me to come down and speak to their people. And I went down at lunch.
Yeah.
I left my school and went down to another school and spoke. And I looked up, and the superintendent of schools was there. He came over to me and he said, now you teach at one of the schools, don't you?
That's too funny.
And he said, I want you to come see me tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I went the next day. And he was a former football coach. He said, boy, you sure are a good speaker. And I love that you have this talent.
Yeah.
But I can't let you leave the school you're supposed to be teaching and go around the world.
That's too great.
And coach and speak. He said, so I hate to tell you this, but you're going to have to pick. And I said, I'm out of here. Yeah. I said, you know, they're paying me this much to go over here. And he said, I don't blame you one bit.
I'm loving this because I've never heard that story
he said,
this
but
way.
you can't be a PE teacher at that school. And I went down here, and he called me redheaded right in the middle of the school day.
The old sneaking out the side door.
Yeah, and I'd go speak at pharmacy or go speak somewhere during the middle of the day. And I think I even taught a college class for one semester. And I don't even know if people should know all these things, but you know, I mean, I just had this desire and this instinct to go do it, but I didn't resign. So it's not like some people want to walk in and see this and they go, man, I'm quitting. Now you could do that. You could burn the ships. Yeah. If you're in a vehicle that can't get you there, how long do you stay there? You don't want to get to the end of your life and say, man, I spent 30 or 40 years. You and I are in vocations.
Yes.
That is voice or calling in life. Occupation means that which occupies your time in which you receive a paycheck for. I couldn't get up and go be in an occupation the way I'm wired. Neither could you.
No, I couldn't.
If we didn't think this was our calling. Yeah. And there's no better compliment to me when I speak than for somebody to come up and go, you're doing exactly what God called you to do.
I'm still laughing at you leaving the school.
I don't think I've ever told that.
No, I have not heard it. And I'm around you a lot. Yeah. $1 million days, bigger financial possibilities, and big table moves, right? Yeah. So, Coach, if people know, for people who do want to coach with you, because there are some of you that are watching, you need to coach with him. How do they get a hold of you? Yeah. And then tell us a couple of ways they can coach with you. Yeah, I go to CoachBurt.com. The way I coach people is in a cadence and a rhythm. I really want them to become members of our coaching in the Greatness Factory. I send a message to their phone every morning. I cut a message every morning, 5 days a week, goes straight to their phone. Yes. Every day to every one of my clients. I train in the online academy. We want them training in my online academy daily. Military trains every day. Olympians train every day. And then I typically coach 2 to 4 days a month, right? Just like a pastor. And they can come in person to the Greatness Factory, which there's deep benefit for, or they can go virtually. Yes. And we call that the Greatness Factory membership. The promise is we're going to help them get a seat at a bigger table. Yeah. And then obviously I do one-off coaching, coach companies, teams, executive teams, and I do some one-to-one coaching with people who really want to go to another level. And you're so good that I've sent my friends to you
Yeah.
because no one can do it like you. So, Coach, thank you for being
Thank you.
on the podcast today.
Absolutely.
And life is good.
My pleasure.
Thank you for sharing space with me on this episode of Miracle Mentality with Tim Storey. If today sparked your courage or helped you understand why you're created for success, I invite you to carry that miracle mentality forward. Visit me at timstorey.com. That's story with an EY on the end. Until next time, walk by faith, embrace possibility, and create your own comeback story.